internet, but you don't seem to forget about yourself. Wondering how it could go so wrong, but you didn't call for help. But let me tell you about the trees and the seas, how it's all connected.
Hey guys, this is Tattoo Tony, and today we're gonna take a venture through Horace Mann School in Gary, Indiana, and showed you guys a preview of it. It was very interesting, so if you haven't seen it, go back and watch it. There was this weird, like, grave marker where we entered the building that had, like, class president, student council names on it. I found that kind of odd. That tag I just picked up said class of 1951. It looks like it was some sort of banner that hung in this gymnasium. This school will be in several parts because it is giant, fantastic, and mind-blowing. There's a bunch of different rooms throughout this school that had absolutely everything left behind. And as I watch this video, it brings back fresh to mind what it was like to explore this school, and it took us hours because we like to take our time and not just run through a place waving a camera around and say, here you go. I want to get to as close as possible as I can through video to you actually walking through here yourself and seeing what I saw. I know I can't quite get there because you can't breathe the black mold. You can't cut yourself and get the wound dirtied and soiled with asbestos crumblings. But I'm getting as close as I can get. So anyways, this school is named Horace Mann, and I kind of wanted to start off with who is Horace Mann. And the reason that makes me curious is because we have a shuttered Horace Mann Elementary School in the town I live in. Another lady commented on the last video when she saw the name Horace Mann in the building and said they had a Horace Mann Elementary in her school district, which her children did not attend. But in any case, Horace Mann was born in 1796 in Massachusetts. Horace Mann practiced law before he served in the state legislature. Man, I should go back and redub that, but I'm not. It sounded like I couldn't talk. Horace Mann practiced law before serving in the state legislature and Senate. He was named the secretary of the new Massachusetts Board of Education in 1837. He overhauled the state's public education system and established a series of schools to train teachers. Look at all these books left behind. It's like a It's like something, but there's boxes full of books laying all over the place. Some of them were actually kind of cool books. I like to leave stuff. I don't take anything, but some of these books, it's like, hey, there's like 100 copies of Beowulf, you know. One going missing probably wouldn't hurt, but, you know, I leave everything where it is. So Horace Mann was named to the Secretary of the Board of Education, and he overhauled the state's public education system and established a series of schools to train teachers. Mann later was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives and served as president of Antioch College in Ohio until his death in 1859. Mann is recognized today for his leadership in transforming the country's public education system, and many schools across the U.S. are named after him. So that's who Horace Mann is, and that's why there's so many schools named after Mr. Horace Mann. But this is Horace Mann High School. It's located in Gary, It's located in Gary, Indiana. And it's on a short list of American high schools that have graduated more than 75 classes of students. A creation of innovative educator William Wirt. Let's try that again. A creation of innovative educator William Wirt. The new school took 7 years to build and was finished in 1928. The campus set a new standard for the area's public schools by featuring landscaped rolling hills, multiple gyms and pools, and even a man-made pond. I don't know why I found all these cups interesting. I bet they were ransacked from the concession stand that I showed in the first video, or the little concession area for this gym. It was outside of this gym. The Fighting Horseman. Here's a photograph Andrew took. I'm going to show photographs he's taken throughout this series. They're absolutely fantastic. I'm not sure if he thought they were that great, but I was mind blown. If I was you, I would recommend going back and maybe hitting the pause button and taking a little longer look. So the school even had its own man-made pond. But Horace Mann's fortunes ebbed and flowed with those of Gary. When the city's population declined, so did enrollment at the school. In 2004, the school board voted to shutter the building, and 9 years later, the ailing building was standing vacant and crumbling. But right now we're at 13 years later. There's a film reel. Guess you guys already saw the giant dryer, I guess it was. It was a jockstrap dryer. You gotta have big dryers for jockstraps. Anyways, there was a cage in here. Cool shoes, man. The neighborhood around this school is called the Horace Mann Ambridge neighborhood, and it was defined by classic Georgian brick and stucco architecture. Homes in the neighborhood would boast similar design cues as the region grew and established its identity. The Upper West Side was pleasant, if not beautiful. Growth was limited as long as the neighborhood lacked its own school. As Gary grew, so did the need for more schools. The residents appealed to Gary School's superintendent, William Wirt. Wirt had a new platoon-style method of education called work, study, play, and it was deemed a success during its launch at the nearby Emerson School in 1908. What happened to these kids? This was weird. It was like a family photo album just laying in the middle of the floor in this locker room. This might have been a locker room for the pool with the tile on the floor. So in any case, Emerson School, we explored most of that, and that is on the channel in several cool parts. So go back and look, because if you haven't seen it, you'll regret it. Trust me, you want to see it. I'm not saying that because I made it. I'm saying it because it's a fantastic building to explore. So anyways, he launched this work-study play model of education at the Emerson School in 1908. He wanted to expand on his earlier success, so the superintendent drew up plans to add at least 4 schools over the next 2 decades. One of them was Horace Mann. They were all 3 stories tall and were to be constructed in a similar red brick with white trim, classical composition style as Emerson School. In November of 1926, the cornerstone for the central building was laid. The school was completed in 1928. I'm gonna save the rest of the history lesson for another video. Look at all the junk in the pool. Wow, wow, dude.
I'd figure out how to take one, bro, from that end, looking at all this junk. Come with me, bro.
I was talking him into taking a picture in here. At first he thought it might be too dark. It might have been a little on the dark side. The dark side of the pool moon.
Okay, set up right here.
So anyways, here's one of the photographs Andrew took. That is a picture from my GoPro, not to be confused with the beautiful picture he took beforehand. I like those mop buckets. They're like galvanized metal. I bet you this vacuum still works. It's an old Clark commercial vacuum. That looks like a Clark floor buffer. You gotta love floor buffers, I know I do. There's nothing like a rusting floor buffer. So anyways, there's kind of some bleachers or, places for racing fans to sit and watch the swimmers swim. Ajax, that's a cool one. Ajax. Those desks look like where the sitters sit while the swimmers swim. And I bet this stuff was all stored in here in an orderly fashion, all these cleaning stuff and buffers and boxes of cleaning chemicals and stuff. There was a bunch of buffers and vacuums and stuff thrown into the pool. I sincerely hope that's not people who are taking decay pictures, throwing all that stuff in there and taking those photos, but I'd be willing to bet it is some rich kids from Chicago coming down here and trashing stuff for a photograph. Who knows, though?